Hello, everybody, and welcome to your Venus retrograde romance reading. Venus is going retrograde on May 13th in Gemini, and on the same day, Mars is entering Pisces. So, from about May 13th through the middle of July, you are dealing with a lot of retrograde energy because Mercury is also going to go retrograde, and this is going to be a time of soul awakening and deep, deep insights and understandings coming into play about the past, about everything you've been going through. And there is an element of the past returning for some of you, as is the case with all retrogrades. But this could be the time for endings, like permanent endings and brand new beginnings. All right, so there are 4 different decks to choose from. We have the Romance Angels, the Karmic and Twin Flames Oracle, Love Story Romance Oracle, and the Relationship Connections Oracle. So go ahead and decide which one of these decks hold your Venus retrograde messages around love and romance. I will start with the Romance Angels. There are timestamps for all the others below. Hello there. So my romance angels, what we have here is the hexahedron. So there is something going to materialize and manifest for you in regards to love and romance during this retrograde cycle. And this, remember, is about the mid-May to about mid-July. And this is representing you and the primary other energy, like the soul that's coming into your reading here. Something's materializing, something is manifesting. So we're also going to pull a card for the divine feminine energies and the divine masculine energies. You could look at this as male or female, or the sacral chakra and the solar plexus chakra and what's going on there. So we will start with the divine feminine energies. All right, and we have purify the mind with wholeness, wholesome thoughts, calmness arises. This is quite fitting as Venus is going retrograde in Gemini, which is air energy, all about the mind. Gemini is 3rd house, which is learning and understanding. So divine feminine energy really receiving a lot of insights about herself, her relationships, her journey romantically, everything that's happened up to this point. Or as a sacral chakra energy, this is really becoming empowered within self, a nice balancing in the sacral, reconnecting with the nurturing, compassionate energy and seeing things from a whole new perspective. So let's look at the divine masculine energy, which would be Mars, or the male energy, or the solar plexus chakra. And we had one jump out, and that is surrender your judgments, see beyond the end and the beginning. That is quite powerful because Mars is going into Pisces, and that's 12th house energy. That's the endings, undoings. That's soul lessons completing, coming full circle. So deep soul awakening coming for the divine masculine energy. Or if you want to look at this as the solar plexus chakra, this is where if you've had a need to really defend yourself, protect yourself, guard yourself, kind of had an icy exterior around your heart chakra, that's going to start to melt and fade away because you're coming into deep understandings at the soul, like deep down. This is big energy over the next 2 months, especially around romance. All right, let's pull some cards and see this story that's coming through for you guys. Oh, wait a minute, I'm jumping ahead. All right, I want to actually see what Spirit Guide is working with you and your partnership over these next 2 months during this retrograde energy. Hunter of Visions. All right, so the spirit guide that is coming through is an earth spirit, and this is a spirit that has a lot of investment in you and your romantic person, whether this is a union, a complicated connection, a separation, or those of you where this is new romance coming in, all right? You have this spirit guide coming through that has a lot invested, making sure that you complete your lessons, tie up all these loose ends in romance over the next 2 months, and strengthen romance, bring new love in, reignite love, okay? So you guys have a lovely spirit guide to help you on this journey. Okay, now let's look at the story. And remember, hexahedron, there's something materializing, manifesting in the physical. Okay, codependency. Free yourself. And deception. Okay, so with this story coming out, and look what would be next, separation. With this being the story for you that was attracted to this deck, I'm getting several different things. You guys are really clearing the way of old energies, all right, over these next 2 months. For what? To manifest, to materialize this love, this romance. So if you are single or in a really complicated situation, or you are separated from somebody, right now this spirit guide is really calling your attention to the shadow energy of this connection. All right, even if you are in union, what is the shadow energy in the connection? And those of you singles, in your last connection, even if you have no interest in that ex, what were the shadow energies that were playing out? Do you feel that you really got used, that you were duped, that you can't trust anybody, you know, you really got taken for a ride? Because here we've got to free ourselves from some relationship of our past or some repeating pattern of behavior in our current, in our present relationship, because this energy really holds you back from aligning to the love that you desire, or for those of you in union, to really overcome some energy of the past. It's like a pattern needs to be broken, a cycle needs to be broken. And those of you who are single, okay, maybe you're missing somebody, maybe you're like, nope, there's nobody in my past, I'm ready for new love. You've got to face the shadow of those past relationships and really heal what hurt you, what harmed you, because you don't want that energy coming into a new connection. And you know, this wouldn't show up if there wasn't some of that energy existing in each and every one of you. It's like, what is the shadow? It's time to free yourself from that energy. And some of you, it's time to free yourself from a toxic connection, whether currently involved in your life or something that you have been separated from for some time. It's time to clear yourself of that energy, because I'm telling you, there is something quite beautiful wanting to manifest right here. And look, clear the mind, surrender, see the ending in the beginning, see beyond it. There's so much more involved. All right, let's pull some tarot. Ace of Swords, yes, Venus going retrograde is bringing you so much understanding and insight, major breakthroughs, illumination in the mental body. I like to see that. That is a beautiful confirmation. And the Empress, yep, this is what you've been held back from, that nurturing, loving, flowing energy. You know, this Ace of Swords and this Empress is really beautiful for the divine feminine energy, or the sacral chakra within you, whether you are male or female, okay? There's been a blockage in the sacral going on for you, and it's because of these shadow energies, whether present or past, that need to be faced and healed, or decided to be let go of and move on, because you do have the Ace of Swords. So you do have the power with this divine masculine energy, the solar plexus, to really cut yourself free from all that has held you back, and also profound insight and illumination as Venus retrogrades through that Gemini energy. And you're going to see what's been holding you back and what's been blocking you, because you do deserve a relationship that holds this Empress energy, which is nurturing, loving, compassionate, abundant, stable. Yep, look at, here's the Death card. This is sitting at the base. There's energy of the shadow that needs to be released, let go of, and healed so that you can move forward. All right, in the recent past, we have Four of Pentacles, so very selfish energy that some of you have been dealing with, or you could be very stubborn. The person that you are dealing with could also be very stubborn. It's almost at an impasse here where, you know, nobody's giving, really holding cards close to their chest. In the mental body, we have the Queen of Cups. So some of you, this could involve a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or you could be a water sign, okay? And in the mental body, with the Queen of Cups coming out, that is empathy, connection, really being in tune with the emotional body. And I'm feeling this goes here to the divine masculine energy, because Mars is moving into Pisces. Pisces could represent this Queen of Cups, and that energy is very nebulous. It's hazy, it's spiritual, there's an imagery to it. It's where you just feel things and you can't properly define them and explain them, okay? And that's what's going on in your mental body, like desiring that connection with another, whether it's somebody present in your life or desiring that connection with a new person. And then this being a strong reference to what the divine masculine is going through and thinking about. In the near future, we have the Two of Pentacles, so there is a decision to be made in regards to love and romance, okay? Here you are as the Magician. You've got the magic, you've got the power within. What's around you is the Hermit, so you could be dealing with a Virgo, or you and this person have not spoken in quite some time, or if this is a new relationship coming in, you and this new person have both been single for quite some time, or at least they have. And what we hope for is a solid change or a solid union coming into our life and our reality. And the outcome is the Six of Cups. I love it. Okay. And we will pull some clarifiers in a little bit, but the story that is coming out, you guys could be a textbook case of Venus retrograding through Gemini, and Mars moving in to Pisces, and then Mercury jumping on board and retrograding through Cancer. It's all about the emotions, okay? Connecting with the soul while Mars is in Pisces, connecting with the higher realms, the mental body, as Venus retrogrades in Gemini, and deep emotions. It's time to be felt and faced and dealt with as Mercury retrogrades through Cancer, okay? So between mid-May and mid-July is when all of this is really playing out for you. And here we've got the Six of Cups as your outcome. So those of you in a good union, where you know there's things that need to change, patterns that need to be broken in this connection, but you know this is a good connection and it's worth fighting for. It's not filled with a lot of toxicity and lies and betrayal, okay? Those of you that are in a stronger union, it's time to make the choice to break some sort of pattern of behavior, habits, make a big change here, face the shadow, don't sweep incompatibilities and arguments and all of that under the rug. Really face it and try to see it from a different perspective so that you guys can work through it. And it's a choice for you to make. And it will have a very beautiful outcome with that Six of Cups right there, where through this process over the next 2 months, the way the energies are shifting, because there's this element of very natural organic energy taking place within everybody. Again, these deep, profound insights coming to each of us where things make sense. We see things differently. Okay, and then also that energy of Pisces, of the soul, awakenings in the soul, seeing your destiny, connecting the dots. There's just so much depth to that Piscean energy. And then Venus retrograding through Gemini, just bringing back the past, but so that it can be healed, so that it can be understood, so that it can be seen in a different light, so that you can heal and you guys can move forward and reconnect like you did once upon a time ago. All right. So for couples in, strong relationships that have just had something that needs to change, it's worth fighting for. And it's going to be naturally brewing in each of you. And if you both join and make that choice, it will have a very beautiful outcome. Now, those of you who are single, separated from someone, or even in dealing with some sort of complicated relationship, there is a big emphasis of the past coming back to you guys through May, June, and the, mid-July, with the Six of Cups being your outcome. In fact, there might be multiple people that resurface from your past over those 2 months. And that's what this choice is about. What do I do with this? Do I become friends? Do we just have a truce? Is there a romantic viability here? And for some of you, there's this past energy coming in as well as new energy coming in, okay? Those of you separated or dealing in a very complicated situation with the Two of Pentacles and this energy of the shadow up here, there is something that it has to be changed, just like the couples. If you're dealing with somebody who's really yo-yo back and forth, super flaky, that situation is never going to evolve and grow into more unless you make some sort of change within yourself, okay? Not tolerating that, desiring more for yourself, even if you do have a strong emotional attachment or bond with that person. If they're not willing to, be what you need to with them to be, which is, honest and give you at least a commitment, or if this is somebody who just really can't keep it together, like it's just always a drama, it's time for you to really make a decision and make a change in yourself and how you handle this person, because otherwise it's like this can't grow and evolve. All right. So keep that in mind for those of you who have been dealing with somebody, and making that change could lead to a very positive outcome. All right, with the Six of Cups. Now, those of you separated from somebody or completely single, there is energy of the past that's coming back. But for you guys, this could also mean that we've got to finally face and heal some shadow within. If it's emotional baggage, unhealed wounds, or if we're really hung up and pining for somebody of our past, it's time to look at that energy from, different perspective with new eyes, because you may be preventing yourself from a reconciliation or from meeting a new romantic partner. So those of you who are completely single or are separated from somebody, your spirit guides are saying, hey, it's time to really look at all of this from a much different perspective, see things differently, and from there you'll be able to make a choice which opens you up to this beautiful love, okay? Because Six of Cups isn't just about the past, it's also about tenderness and sweetness, and just like the inner child really connecting purely and innocently with another individual, with another human being. And remember, you have this one spirit guide here who is very invested in helping you face the shadow and heal whatever that is for you personally, and help you align to the love that you belong to. So let's pull some clarifiers. I'm going to look at the Ace of Swords, the Death, the Hermit, and then the Six of Cups up there. Ace of Swords, Cupid's arrow, have faith, love is coming, a surprise invitation or meeting. Yay! On the death card, healthy choices. Okay, making healthy choices in love and in life. Self-love, self-care, being happier. So yeah, something's really got to change or end, you know, within you or within a specific connection, or maybe there's a connection you have to let go of, because that's how it, you know, this, there's vitality, there's health, there's potential. But some of you, there may be somebody that you're dealing with or hung up on, and that is not the best option for you. There's no real viability, like long-term potential. It's like more toxic to you than it's good. And you know, those of you in union, this here is whatever this pattern is that needs to be broken. Okay, so big strong message of something's got to be faced, healed, and released into the past so that new love can come in, or a reconciliation can happen, or those of you in union can feel like you're back on the same page, really being in that Six of Cups energy. Oh, whoa. And on the Hermit, we have the Sword and the Rose. Clarity, truth, revelation, solidarity, force, honor, protection, power. This is a great card to represent this energy of Venus retrograde right there. Yes. So the person external, the other person you're in union with, or, you know, a person you're going to reconcile with, or new love coming in, because this is manifesting somehow, some way. All right. There is love manifesting over these next 2 months for you, that with this hexahedron. I know that because this is what you were drawn to, and that's part of this reading. So love is manifesting for you. This is just what blocks it, what stands in the way. This spirit guide coming in to really help you with that, and this other person involved also in that same energy of deep awakening in the soul, and big insights in the mental body, deeper understanding of themselves. You know, this is also about taking accountability and responsibility, and evolving and desiring change, and having the fortitude to push through and make it so. That's what's going on here. So the other person involved, or the person coming in, is right where you are. And with the Six of Cups, oh, look at that. We've got a date, meeting somebody new, dating, get back out there, plan and set a date. Here is the materialization, the manifestation of this Six of Cups energy. And what's next is soulmates, a soul connection, partnership, agreement, soul contract. Love it. Okay, so there you go, right there with that date and that soulmates. This is meant to manifest between, you know, May and mid-July, and maybe we should just say from May to the end of July, because time is fluid. All right, this is meant to manifest for you. Some of you need to let go of a relationship that is toxic, whether it's somebody you've just been missing, or somebody who's just very flaky and unstable and unreliable in your current reality. It's time to let that go, and that person could potentially be a Scorpio with the Death card. But I just feel more it's time to let that go. Those of you that have like emotional baggage or unhealed wounds, whether it's around romance or maybe it could go further back, it's time to really face that energy, because you will have the spiritual strength and fortitude to heal, to overcome, and to evolve through the next 2 months. Just with the everything that's going on with the planets, you'll have that within you. So now is a really good time to go into that mode of self-improvement and healing, and asking spirit to show you yourself, your true self, the good, the bad, all of it, every bit of it, and what you know needs to be changed or faced. Make the decision to do so, because it's leading you to such a beautiful outcome. All right. And because this is general, that's probably why I do feel those of you single, there's new love coming in, or it could be a return of somebody coming in. And, you know, if this is somebody returning, it's going to be that they have embraced this energy, and they've done some growth and some evolving themselves, and you guys are much more on the same page than you would have been in that past. Okay. And you will know that things have changed. But also remember, those of you who have somebody who's very back and forth with you, it's time to put your foot down and really make a change to create a new outcome. Otherwise, it's the same thing. We'll just be repeating over and over and over again. So let's pull a few more cards. Singles, make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take, okay? So singles, make the effort. What is it that you need to heal within yourself or let go of? Or do you need to open your mind to believing in love and that it could happen for you? Are you always saying, oh, I don't believe in it? Because, you know, our words can be very self-fulfilling. So singles, it's time to make some sort of effort within yourself or letting something go from the past so that you make room for the what's to come here. And couples, we have worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. So those of you in these stronger unions, you both are very naturally having these energies move within, and it allows you to face the changes, the shadow energy within the connection that needs to be healed and overcome. And this is like a big turning point for you, or a milestone in this relationship, this connection. And you realize that everything you've been through with this person is absolutely worth it, just because of the love that you are falling into. And now, for those of you who are, you know, separated from somebody or in a really complicated situation that I feel you need to just let go of, this here, we have getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. Well, this is new energy coming in, or somebody from your past that you've been disconnected from for quite some time, because this here, this is what's manifesting, really getting to know a new energy, or an energy that does feel new to you. All right, so those are the messages for you guys for Venus retrograde. I am sending you all lots of love and light. Take care. Hello there. So let's see what the Karmic and Twin Flames Oracle has to tell you about romance with this Venus retrograde energy. First of all, you guys have the octahedron here. So there is going to be a lot of mental growth, evolution, and understanding that takes place for you between mid-May through mid-July, when Venus is retrograding. And then remember, Mercury is joining that retrograde cycle with the Venus, and then Mars being in Pisces, that's soul awakening. Okay, so there is a lot of things that are going to make sense, a lot of clarity, a lot of insight that's coming to you through this retrograde season. And these are the crystals that represent you and the other person coming through and your romance read. So let's pull a spirit guide here and see which spirit guide is coming in to help you through this retrograde energy. And retrograde always brings the past too, so there's going to be elements of the past coming back. But let's see what spirit guide is helping you out, this romance. Okay, we have the Hunter of Conflict. So this is an earth spirit, and this spirit guide has a lot invested in you overcoming whatever it is you need to overcome, or coming into union with somebody, you know, for this soul's evolution. Okay, so this spirit guide has a lot invested in with conflict. This is a guide that wants to help resolve arguments, bring in healing, and bring profound epiphanies and ultimate clarity to you about, you know, different relationships. And this reading, I'll bring forth messages for singles, couples, separated, you know, complicated connections. But this guide wants to help you with that, whatever it is, and it has a lot invested in you completing your cycles, you evolving, as well as you coming into a union with another person. So I'm going to pull some divine feminine energy representing Venus and what she's doing, as well as the sacral chakra. And also this could speak of what the feminine energies are experiencing most strongly through this cycle. And then I'm going to pull masculine energy, which is going to be, you know, Mars moving through Pisces, as well as the solar plexus chakra and what's happening there. And then also the masculine energy, the males, and what they're going through. So we will start with the divine feminine. We have still, pure from the beginnings of birth. No impure thoughts, words, and deeds could taint your noble self. Oh, it is a profound time of healing in the sacral chakra, as well as in the mental body, about just different things that have happened, different relationships that didn't work out, somebody that hurt you, you know, a struggle that you're up against in a union with your current partner. This is beautiful. It's time to get very quiet and still, and this is going to be a natural thing that's happening to you through the next 2 months, okay? And from there, everything is just going to start making sense, and it's not going to hurt so much. There is so much healing coming in. And remember, you have a spirit guide here who is highly invested in making sure all of this happens, everything that comes through in this reading, okay? So let's look at the divine masculine energies. Okay, do not carry with you your mistakes. Rise up from the ashes. See a new beginning in every day. Oh, that is so beautiful, because right before Venus goes retro and Mars moves into Pisces, we have the Scorpio full moon, the 6th, 7th of May. And so for the masculine energy, whether it's a male or it's the masculine energy within a female, there's something that's ending, coming to a complete finale, and there's a rising, the phoenix rising from the ashes, and the Scorpio energy, 8th house, is that, the phoenix rising. So really strongly taking place in the masculine energy, and as a solar plexus energy, this is where you are now becoming very empowered, and all the things that broke you down, now you are rebuilding and becoming stronger than ever before. So ooh, it's like perfect balancing to the sacral and the solar plexus chakra. I love it. Okay, let's pull the storyline here and see what's coming through. All right, well, we had 2 jump out. Okay, so the 2 that jumped out is eternally yours, boundaries, unaligned intentions, and repeating signs. Okay. There is major breakthrough happening for those of you that were drawn into the Karmic and Twin Flames Oracle. Major breakthroughs taking place for you over the next 2 months, so mid-May through mid-July. What I see here, those of you in union with somebody right now, you guys are really going to have a lot of changes unfold over these next 2 months, and it's almost like you guys are finally starting to fit into each other perfectly, where we've had a lot of imbalanced, distorted energies with each other. There's changes that you guys have been making internally, externally, and that's really shifted the energy here. And now over the next 2 months with the planetary movements, there's just this very organic, natural shift taking place in both of you, and you're gonna know like what to do, what to say. And I see those of you in union really moving past conflict, misunderstanding, disagreement, and a lot of distorted energies finally evening out, and you guys feeling like you are on the same page. So those of you in union, this is a powerful time of really coming together in union, and really feeling like you're on the same team and overcoming some shadow energies that you guys have struggled with, okay? And this is very natural for you. Now, those of you, I'll bring through separation, and then singles, and then complicated relationship. So for separated, what I see here is the reason for this separation is the energy was very out of balance. You both were reaching for different things, wanting different things from each other, and each one of you, there's like some sort of shortcoming, and one of you could have been really giving more, but that made the other feel like overwhelmed and smothered, and then that person wasn't given nearly enough, was just take, and that could have been intentional or unintentional. All right, this is a general reading, but over the course of these next 2 months, there's a lot going on in both of you in regards to thinking about this relationship and this connection. Okay, there's a lot of repeating signs happening for you as well as for them, and I do feel that there's going to be maybe a conversation, or at the very least a major breakthrough within you, so you can finally heal and understand what this connection meant for you, and so that you can move on, because with the octahedron, that is about the mental body. Okay, now singles, listen, there is a beautiful love here coming in. This may be somebody you already know that you had a falling out with, and you might not even be thinking about a reconciliation or a reunion at all with this person, okay? Or this is somebody who comes in after the storm, after you went through a really heavy, bad breakup. But there is a beautiful love coming in for those singles that were attracted to this deck. However, with boundaries there, this is where you are going to take things much, much slower, and it's going to take that person quite a bit to break down all your exterior, because lessons, boundaries, you've learned a lot from bad relationships of the past. You are very strong, independent within yourself, yet, there is this natural gentleness that remains, but you are very guarded and protecting yourself. But there's somebody who is just going to like kind of sweep you off your feet, and it's just like going to take you away. All right, now those of you in complicated situations where this is a very back and forth energy, not a whole lot of stability, there's no commitment here, it may be time for you to really lay down the boundaries and make a drastic change in how you deal with this person in order to facilitate change and resolve the conflict, the imbalanced energy that exists between the two of you. And, again, with the octahedron, that energy, those answers, the epiphanies, the enlightenment, the illumination, all of it will come to you. And the spirit guide is going to see to it to make sure of that. Okay, so let's pull some tarot. So the Four of Wands, we want stability, and stability is now coming in. Eight of Pentacles, I love it, because we are learning, evolving, and understanding over these next 2 months of everything we have been through because of all of this retrograde energy. Like, we're going to have a total of 6 planets retrograde, okay, but this is love, so we're mainly focusing on what Venus and Mars is doing, and then Mercury also plays a role into that. So, stability is coming through understanding the past and all that experience finally transforming into wisdom. Whether you are coupled, single, missing somebody, in a complicated connection, you're growing very wise over these next couple months, okay? Which brings forth stability within you very naturally, very organically. And those of you who have been dealing with somebody who's very flaky, you might just really put your foot down and tell them where they can go, all right? Those of you that are coming together, back together in union, you both have learned and evolved quite a bit, and your energy is much more balanced out, okay? And singles, you have learned from your past relationships, and that's why you're approaching this new love coming in a lot differently, okay? And this could be a new person that's just shown up as you watch this reading, or this person is coming over the course of these next 2 months. At the base, we have the Seven of Swords. So there has been some lies, some betrayal, some letdown, some hurt in your past, regardless of, your present situation. This is what you're overcoming happening is the Seven of Swords, and that's the distorted energy, the unaligned intentions there, and the boundaries, and the Eight of Pentacles, the learning from the past. Wow. And in the recent past, we have the King of Wands. So some of you could have dealt with a fire sign, or a fire sign could be your partner. This could be who you're currently with, or who really burned you, who's back and forth, who you're kind of hung up on, okay? But that is coming through very strong as the past energy. And through the King of Wands, this is somebody who is going to be very pushy, because they want what they want, and they have a miraculous way of achieving that most of the time, okay? They're very persuasive. Their energy could be quite intoxicating. They're very charismatic. They're warm. But if they want to be mean, they can burn you quite deeply if they choose to do that. And some of you did experience that with this person. In the mental body, the Three of Wands. So you've been waiting on an answer. You've been waiting on understanding. Okay, you've been thinking about, what do I do? And again, this is for all situations, okay? You've been thinking about it. You've been waiting on an answer. You've been waiting on a solution. You've been waiting on understanding. And now, over these next 2 months, it's finally going to happen. All your experience, life lessons, soul lessons, finally transforming into wisdom. In the near future, we have the High Priestess. Yes. Oh, this is so good. This is Piscean energy. Mars is in Pisces. All that was hidden now starts coming to light. The mystery reveals itself, and this is happening in the soul. Ooh, and some of you, this could be a Pisces coming into your life. Next out, this is you, the Two of Swords, feeling very blocked. A lot's going to change for you. The person around you, we've got the Star energy. So they've had a lot of growth, okay? If this is somebody, your current partner, they've had a lot of growth happening at the soul, and now over these next 2 months, profound change taking place within them that you just did not see coming, okay? Those of you who are coming back into union with somebody, they could be an Aquarius here, but they've had a lot happen. A lot has changed for them, okay? And those of you where this is a new relationship coming in, and I feel this new relationship is for those of you who are single, as well as those of you involved in this really complicated, messy situation. There is new love, and it's beautiful. This person's very grounded, all right? They have it together, coming through as a major arcana. They lean towards hope and optimism more than negativity and pessimism, and because of that, there's a lot of magical things that have played out in their life, okay? Hopes and fears is the Strength card, which is, I hope I can understand this. I hope our relationship is strong enough to get through this. I hope that there's enough left in me to fall in love again after the storm. And the outcome, beautiful. Two of Wands, and I always see the Two of Wands as twin flames, as soulmates, perfectly balanced, perfectly, aligned to be in union, or to come together in union. And this is what's happening for you and this other person coming into this reading. Is you both have been through a lot, and it's changed you, and it's grown you, and it's evolved both of you, and you don't see this coming. This person that is coming back into your life, or this new love that's showing up, like just who they are, their energy, you don't see it coming. Those of you in union, this is where you didn't imagine that this type of change could happen in your partner. And this is just a very organic, natural shift because of the all this retrograde energy. And with retrograde, it always brings the past back quite strongly. And through that, we grow, evolve, and learn and understand from all of our mistakes and everything that's happened. And we become a much more rounded being. And there's a lot of healing. So things that really hurt us or held us back in the past are no longer significant or an issue, because we've grown and evolved beyond them. Okay, so let's pull some clarifiers. I want to see the High Priestess. I want to see why you are Two of Swords, the Star, and then that beautiful outcome. High Priestess. Yep, this is separation. So those of you in separation, and this is not a relationship that's more currently back and forth. This is like we've been separated, like, you know, a few weeks, few months, maybe even longer than that. You're finally going to come into understanding about that situation, either why it couldn't work, why it didn't work, what really happened, okay? But you're going to receive all the information that you didn't have before. Everything that you feel has been hidden from you is now coming to light, okay? And those of you dealing with somebody who's really flaky back and forth, this may be you finally waking up to who they are and you severing the tie permanently because you're done with that. All right. Now we have paradise, happiness, expansion, joy, playfulness, oneness, enjoying each other. This is you, your energy. The happiness that's ahead romantically for you is not something that you really see coming right at this moment. And here, look at this. We've got the phoenix coming at the star, the person coming in, and look, rise from the ashes, and now you have the literal phoenix. So this Scorpio full moon is also powerful energy for you guys, and this is new phase, rekindle, renewal, transformation, growth, changed mind. And that is, you know, those of you in union, that's how much your partner's changing, okay? Those of you where this is a relationship that comes back together over the next 2 months, you guys are on a whole different level. This time you both have changed and evolved and grown so much. And this person really has faced rock bottom and has risen from that space, okay? And now as the outcome, we have photograph, looking at your photos, missing you, nostalgia, make new memories. So there's definitely a reunion happening for some of you that were attracted to this particular deck for sure, okay? But others of you who are single, this is a new romance coming in that is much more suited and aligned for you, and it's able to come in once all the energy from your past is severed and separated from you, where you've grown and you've evolved and you have deeply expanded beyond your past, okay? And that's what's taking place over these next 2 months to align you to this soulmate, this twin flame, all right? And some singles out there, this is somebody you already know. It could be somebody you've dated in the past. It could have just been a friend. It could have been a casual connection, a missed opportunity, all right? But some of you definitely a reconciliation. And now those of you in those complicated relationships, it's time to let that go. Like, and it's just going to be very natural. You're going to become so wise and hip to their game and their BS, and you're just done because you're ready. You are the phoenix rising to align to your true soulmate, okay? And those of you in union, yes, overcoming major period of growth and evolution between the two of you where your energies balance out and you're really on the same page. So let's just pull one final card here for each situation. Okay, singles, yes, see, love yourself. You know, really focus your energy on healing, on growing, on expansion as all of this enlightenment comes to you. And love yourself more. Know that you are precious and you deserve the exact love that you are able to give out, okay? So singles, you guys have been in a healing journey, a process of that. And now the answers are coming in. The healing is complete because there is new love coming in. Couples, personal life path journey. This is talking about all the evolution that has taken place inside of your partner as well as yourself, and it's going to become quite apparent over these next 2 months. And look at this. This is for separated. Okay, singles, couples, those who are separated. There you are, lasting reconnection. I knew I was feeling a union. And complicated connections, we have intimate conversation. So it's really time to put your foot down. Those of you that have somebody who's just not very stable or reliable, it's time to put your foot down and put those boundaries out there, because there's a different romance, a true soulmate that's trying to come in and align to you, and you want to be fully available and present for that, okay? Singles, this is new love coming in, or somebody that you've known before you know, and you've lost touch or you were with them before, whatever the case is, they're coming back, and this is a lasting reconnection. And, you know, singles, where this is new romance coming in, this is a long-term relationship, okay, with lasting reconnection and Two of Wands. And those of you who are in union, this shift and change within the relationship is going to be very long lasting, all right? So those are your messages. I'm sending each and every one of you lots of love and light. Take care. Hello there. So let's get right into this reading. For those of you that chose Love Story Romance Oracle, you guys have the icosahedron attached to this. So there is a lot of emotion that is going to come through this reading, with that being your sacred geometry crystal. So a lot of emotion involved, and I'm going to use these as the crystals that represent you and the other person coming through in this reading. And I will bring messages for couples, for singles, those of you in separation, as well as those of you in these complicated situations. All right, so let's start off by pulling the spirit guide that's coming through, that's trying to help you and this other person out, or through complications, or bring you guys into union, whatever the case may be. And this is you know, from May 13th to around mid-July. So let's see what spirit guide is coming out. Okay, we have the Shaman of Sorrows. This is an ascended soul that is coming in as your spirit guide to help you with this connection with somebody. And for those of you, I'm just kind of getting the feeling that this has a lot to do with past issues, whether you are in a union, you're separated, you are in a complicated connection with somebody, or even those of you who are single. There's a lot of conflict and pain and sorrow that has been part of your journey, because this is the Shaman of Sorrows. So this is a spirit guide that wants to help you evolve beyond all of this energy right here. And this is a very strong, wise soul being that can bring a lot of perspective, and is coming in strong with these energies of Venus going retrograde in Gemini, that being air energy, a lot of enlightenment. It's the energies are ripe for that. This guide is bringing that to you. Mars moving into Pisces, that is a spiritual activation and awakening. This spirit guide is helping you with that, as well as the other person involved in this reading. Okay, so you have a very powerful and strong spirit guide helping you guys out. Now I'm going to pull a card to look at the divine feminine energies, and this can be the energy of Venus. This can be what's going on in your sacral chakra, and this can also be a special message for all the feminines who are watching this reading. So let's take a look and see what's going on there. Emptiness is the absolute reality, the source and support of all things. Ooh, okay, so I know that this reading is probably going to be more for those of you who have been single for a while, you're separated, or there's just this really crazy back and forth situation in your life, more so than actual committed couples, okay? Just with that coming out. So this understanding is going to be for those of you who have been single for a very long time. There's been a great purpose in it, even if you are like, I don't get it, I don't understand, it feels like a punishment, why do I have to be lonely? You've been working on a lot of soul evolution, okay? And in this silence, in this stillness, you gain and grow and learn so much. And some of you were hurt so badly that you needed quite some time on your own for healing. When you're on your own, you're in Spirit's nest. You are never alone. Spirit is right there with you, trying to heal you, trying to bring you into understanding. And the process for that, the timing of it is different for everybody, okay? So especially the feminine energy, really coming into understanding about the wounds that exist within, what they've taught her, how she's grown, how she's evolved, and finally coming into that place of evolution and healing and expanding beyond all of that energy. Oh, that's so powerful. Okay, let's look at the masculine energy, which is Mars, the energy of Mars, or what's going on in the solar plexus, or a special message, to the masculines. What's going on with the masculines, I should say. All right. The world always finds a way to praise and a way to blame. The wise continually praises. Ooh, okay. So as a solar plexus chakra energy, this is where, the solar plexus could have been distorted in an attempt to really protect and guard oneself, just depending on what you've been through, feeling like you have to fight. You always have to watch your back. You've got to protect yourself. You've got to defend yourself. Okay. So in the solar plexus, that energy is now softening, and through this understanding in the sacral, that's where the journey is no longer a waste or hard or painful or dark or I wish XYZ would have never happened. It's like this beautiful coming together, like the picture just illuminating before your eyes about your journey and what it means and everywhere you've been. Okay. And then that's also what Mars is doing, moving through Pisces, bringing that understanding, as well as Venus retrograding through Gemini. And as a message for the masculine, this is a deep awakening where masculine energy is no longer blaming anybody. It's looking to self for all things, taking accountability, taking responsibility, but also seeing in situations where feminine needs to take accountability and responsibility and no longer willing to overlook that. So this is a huge empowerment to both the divine feminine and divine masculine right now, and the sacral and solar plexus chakra really coming into balance within. All right, let's pull some cards to look at the storyline of this connection here. Apology, supportive, passionate connection. Oh, look at that. Singles. And look at what's very next, soulmate. I just got to put that out. That definitely feels like part of the reading. In fact, I'm just going to make more room because that feels like part of this reading. All right, singles. This apology right here, this could be coming from somebody or several somebodies of your past, because we also have Mercury going retrograde. So there's a lot of past energies that are going to come back into the present. Unfinished business being completed, loose ends being tied up. Okay, so those of you who are single, separated from somebody, so some of you dealing with complicated situations, or just outright single, nothing going on, there's this apology energy coming in. So some of you, you're going to receive this from another person where they're taking accountability and responsibility for what they did. Okay. And for others of you, this is the apology that you're giving to yourself, again, because you're evolving and you're seeing things so differently. And there's certain relationships that you're like, you know what, I saw the signs and I stayed way, way, way too long. And it's a shifting now, whereas before you may have been hurting and missing somebody or wondering, why am I not lovable? Why am I not with somebody? That's shifting to the realization of divinity of self and becoming so strong, empowered, and independent, and apologizing to self for the BS that you put up with, staying for way too long, selling yourself short. Okay. And those of you that are receiving this apology from another person, that doesn't necessarily mean it's for this relationship to come back together and have another go round. Some of you, this is closure that you're receiving. Okay. Now, I do see those of you in more of a complicated connection, or somebody that you are separated from, Wow, over the next 2 months, all of these energies shifting and changing, I do see some sort of reconciliation here, where it is game on. It's like, I'm sorry for the past XYZ, all these various things that have happened. There's a lot of maturing that's taken place within you as well as this other person. And that's why this shaman is coming out as your spirit guide, because this union, or this reunion, is meant to be of a much higher frequency of experience with each other. And you singles out there, this solo journey has been in preparation for this beautiful connection that's coming into your life, that this spirit guide is going to see to it that you guys come together, okay? Those of you already in a solid commitment or union, sorry for the loud car outside, it's you guys are really overcoming, anything that you've been struggling with. It's time to go to the next level of your relationship. And this is where the divine feminine and the divine masculine, the energies are no longer pushing against each other. There is balance, there is flow, there is harmony that's coming in, at least for this reading, this deck that you've been attracted to here. So let's pull some tarot. So we have the Hierophant sitting at the center of the reading. Some of you could be a Taurus or dealing with a Taurus, but most importantly, this being the base of this whole reading, is there's a lot of spiritual energy going on here. And I'm not surprised, because we do have the shaman of sorrows. It is time for deep healing, and deep healing comes from those spiritual insights, that understanding, that shifting of energy where you see things so differently, where what hurt you, harmed you, damaged you, broke you down in the past, now you see it as your obstacles that pushed you into strength, that pushed you into growth, to evolution, to independence, to becoming resourceful, and it changed you and it expanded you, and you've become somebody different now, okay, from your journeys, and you're understanding your journeys, opposed to it hurting you, haunting you. You are coming into that beautiful clarity, and it's so liberating and freeing for you. And also this union, in this reading, you guys are absolutely soulmates, bound at the soul, and meant to have higher vibrational experiences with each other. Nine of Pentacles, yes. And singles, what has prevented this is you really coming into a place of utter independence, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Some of you, this is also financially, really having to gain your footing in that area of your life. But the Nine of Pentacles, what has stopped you from having this type of union is you were growing, you were still learning, and everything you've been through has been in preparation of what is just showed up or what's about to come in over these next 2 months. Okay, so that's beautiful. Those of you in separation, we had to separate because there was definitely some codependent energy that existed between the two of you the first time around, okay? And some of you, this reunion may not even be of somebody that you were physically intimate with or dated. This could have just been a missed opportunity. The timing was off, or you weren't interested back then, it's going to be different for all of you because this is general. But those of you where this is a reunion, the first time you met or the first relationship you shared, you guys weren't ready, you weren't fully evolved, okay? This relationship with this person is meant to be of a very high vibrational experience, and the first time around, it wouldn't have been that at all, period, in a story. Those of you in these more complicated connections, there's a deep calling from your soul, okay? And if some of you are entertaining this connection because you're afraid of being alone, or you're afraid that you'll never like somebody as much as them, you're snapping out of that, and your soul is going to guide you much more because you're realizing your worth and your value. And it's just this complicated situation. I don't know that it's it's the right thing for you. It may be a catapult to this soulmate that's coming in, okay? And again, those of you already in union, there could be a financial blessing that's actually coming in for you guys over the next 2 months. Look at that. This is what's at the base. Two of Cups. It won't stop. This soulmate, the one you belong with, the recent past. Six of Swords, letting go, moving on, okay? That's what's happened in the recent past, is letting go and moving on somehow, some way for you. In the mental body, we have the Ace of Pentacles. You want a solid, strong commitment relationship that you can count on. So those of you that are dealing with that flaky back and forth, you're done with that. You are truly in a place, you are being aligned for true love, okay? Those of you single or in separation, it's the same thing. Everything you've been going through is really aligning you to a place of true love, of solid commitment, what you desire most. Look at this. This is the near future, Nine of Cups. Happiness, unexpected wish fulfillment. Oh, I love it. What are you? You are showing as the Queen of Pentacles, Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or this is you being very strong, independent in yourself, okay? So, again, this just feels so strong for those of you that are single or in separation, or if you're dealing with a back and forth complicated connection, you're finally going to let that go, because you are evolving over these next 2 months into a very independent, strong person that can handle their own business and is seeking a relationship to complement your life, not a project, not to put somebody back together, not to be their savior, their angel, their grace. You're not interested in all of that. You truly desire equality. You want somebody who is just as strong and firm and grounded as you are, okay? That's where you are at. And the energy coming in is the Eight of Cups. Somebody who has walked away from you in the past. Okay, this is a really strong out of, I only have one more. There's only 4 here, but this one is definitely all about reunions. Somebody who walked away from you in the past is now coming back in, okay? And if this is brand new love, what this means for them is they've had a lot of relationships that ended just like you. They've been on a bit of this spiritual quest, this spiritual journey. Some of them may have been single for quite some time as well, okay? But yeah, strongest message is like this new love or this returning love, and you being so strong right now opposed to the energies that you were dealing with in the past. And it's time for like true love of a higher vibration, hopes and fears, true love, that it's lasting, that it's not fleeting, and the outcome is the Nine of Swords. So could have an air sign coming in, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, but this is conversation, this is communication. Those of you where this is somebody returning, there is going to be a lot of explanation of why certain things happened, why they said what they said, why they did what they did, okay? It's like you're no longer going to be in the dark about that. And this being retrograde, you know, there could be a couple of different offers that show up for you guys of past energies, because there's just this deep evolution that's taking place in everybody, all right? And the understanding in the mental body with Venus, and the understanding and evolution at the soul with Mars moving through Pisces. And expect to hear from some people, okay? And they are offering real love, okay? Those of you where this is a reunion, you both have reached that evolution, and you're ready to align, to come together, and now it's very supportive, okay? The energies are balanced. There's an amazing chemistry and connection between you and this person, and you are soulmates. This is a love that is meant to last a very long time, if not the one that you belong with, okay? This is a general reading, so I have to leave it fluid like that. But many of you connected to this deck, it's energies of the past coming back to offer you their cup, offer you, you know, love, romance, connection, give me another chance. All right, so wow, that's beautiful. And those of you where this is not a returning love, what I see is you've really had to work hard to overcome the damage of the past, of the different relationships that you've been in. And you've achieved that. And now there is this beautiful new romance who is a true soulmate coming in, who is equal to you in every way. All right. And you guys are meant to have a beautiful journey forward. Complicated connection. Yeah. I just see you, evolving beyond that and walking away from it because you want something real, and there's a couple of new energies around you that I feel that you are ready to indulge and give a chance to. Okay. We also have the air, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and water, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, as these new energies coming in around you. Like, I see you dating, okay, and you meet this beautiful soulmate because you're done with the flakiness of this person who's just back and forth, back and forth. Like, you spiritually evolve beyond this person, and you walk away from them. Those of you in committed connections, I do see some sort of financial improvement coming through. And also, if somebody's been kind of being a jerk, they're owning it, they're taking accountability, they're stepping up, and they're doing the right thing. But I definitely see a financial blessing coming in. So let's see, what do I want to clarify here? Okay, I'm going to clarify the Hierophant, the Two of Cups, the Nine of Cups, the Eight of Cups, and then that Knight of Swords up there. On the Hierophant, self-indulgence, focus on self, self-worth, time to heal, shadow work, self-appreciation. So your soul, regardless of your situation, has been calling to you. All right, let's move on from the past. Let's allow all of that experience to transform into wisdom. So major spiritual awakening happening with you and this person returning to you, or this new love coming in. Major soul work happening at Two of Cups. Look at that. Soulmates, soul contract, partnership agreement. This here is meant to be of a higher vibration, and it just keeps getting reiterated. On the Eight of Cups is the mirror, mirroring each other, self-image, relationship reflects our wounds, introspection. So again, this is somebody who walked away from you in the past, or you walked away from them for whatever reason. Or if that's not the case, this person, this new love that's coming in, mirrors you. You guys are soulmates. Like, it just keeps getting reiterated all the way through. And then up here with the Knight of Swords, watching, looking, stalking, gaslight, perception, focusing out. So those of you where this is somebody returning into your life, they have always kind of kept tabs on you in whatever way they possibly could, okay? They've just always kind of watched you from afar. Those of you where this is a new romance coming in, I feel they definitely really kind of check you out, like look at your social media and really try to figure out who you are from an outside perspective, along with what's taking place within the connection, because it's so strong. Like, you guys just feel like you fit, okay? And that's because this is a higher vibration connection, a higher love, higher than probably anything you've experienced previous to this relationship, because all those other relationships were preparing you for this, including those of you where this is somebody that you've been dealing with that's just very flaky, back and forth, back and forth. That energy's fading, and you learned a lot from that connection, whether you realize it or not in this moment, and it's been part of the preparation to align you to your truest soulmate. And that soulmate is coming in over these next 2 months, okay? The mid of May through the mid of July. And some of you, this beautiful reconciliation. And again, I do feel like multiple energies around some of you. And so some of you, you are receiving that apology, that offer, of just, I'm sorry for the way things happened or what I did. But that doesn't mean that everybody that's extending their cup to you, you're interested in pursuing that. There's somebody that's really going to stand out and that's just where you want to be. So I do see multiple offers here, but there's one, and you guys feel like you fit like a glove. Okay, so let's pull a final card, you know, for singles, couples, separated, and then this complicated connection. Singles, outside influences. Okay, so what broke you guys up in the past may have had to do with a lot of external interference. What brings you guys back together in the now might have a lot to do with other people. Also, singles, this is where you could be set up by a friend, or you could be, you know, going out and about with a friend, and you and this person meet, or you could be at a business function together. You know, there's just some sort of external influence that helps align you together. You may have like a mutual contact, or you both are attending like the same event, something like that. Like there's some external thing that helps bring you guys together. All right, couples, forgiveness. Okay, so we have apology and forgiveness. Couples, you guys are going to overcome whatever the heaviness was of the past, because you are transforming into higher versions of yourself to have a more spiritually based connection and relationship. Okay, separated. Look at that, separated. All right, we're gonna pull more on that. Complicated connection. We have regret. This regret goes both ways. Okay, this is partly you regretting putting up with it for so long, and once you know, put your foot down and you move on, because there's other energies showing up in your world, this person is really going to regret it, but you're just going to evolve like beyond that. Okay, truly you're going to evolve beyond this person, because there's a real soulmate coming into your reality, and this new connection or this returning connection is just not going to compare to this BS that you've been dealing with. Okay, and so as a whole message, those of you that have somebody returning, it's almost like there was some external influence that really screwed things up. It appears that way, but remember, you guys truly weren't ready to be together in this type of connection just yet, and that's why that happened the way that it did. And now, you know, we've been working on forgiveness through the separation, like one person working on healing and forgiveness, and the other person very much regretting walking away. Okay, so let's pull some more on this separated. All right. Reigniting connection. Wow, that's pretty straightforward. That jumped right out. Okay. Date invitation. Blame, somebody really taking accountability and responsibility for bad behavior. And ooh, you deserve better. Ooh, okay. Why? Because they treated you like a casual connection in the past, or didn't really give you and treat you the way that you deserved. Just, it's like this relationship really could not evolve, or maybe even really root itself, and now it's like, hey, I'm sorry, let me take accountability. You deserved way better for the way I treated you, what I put you through in the past. All right, like, wow. And I just feel like you guys have multiple people trying to come back in, and some of them you're not really interested in. You're grateful to receive the closure, the apology, whatever, but you're not interested. There's just one connection that's really going to be standing out for you. Solo journeys end. Look at that, singles. Even those of you in this complicated connections, you're going to ditch that. There is a different love that is meant for you. All right, unrequited attraction. Energies were not aligned in the past. Compromise. Somebody's really got to own up to some behavior. The reason why the connection is deep, despite what happened, it's you guys have always been connected at the soul. It was very challenging in the past, but it was magic. Oh, new romance coming in. and not over you. Okay, yes. See, I'm enchanted. Those of you that this person's coming back, they're not over you. I don't think you're fully over them either. Or you've just always wished, like, if it's just a missed opportunity, an unfilled romance, like, you're like, God, I really wish I could have known how that would have worked out if we could have had a chance to be together. All right. So, those of you where this is a returning connection, they are way not over you, and they have so much regret, remorse, and guilt for letting you get away, okay? And that's why they're coming back in very strong. And look at this, the new romance that's coming in, for those of you where this is not a reconnection. What this tells me is this new romance wasn't able to come into your life until you were fully healed and over some aspect of your past, and now you're coming to the end of that and you're ready for this soulmate. You've been prepared for this soulmate. Your vibration is elevated, you've evolved, you are expanded, and it was like not being over emotional baggage or a specific ex that really held you back, and now here you are, you're ready for that magic moment with that new romance. And those of you where this is somebody returning, they've never stopped thinking about you, they've never gotten over you. We kind of see that with they've been watching from afar. And the flaky connection, look, you deserve better than something so casual. And again, you're evolving beyond this. There's just too much new opportunities showing up at your door, and this person, this flaky person, is gonna regret it eventually, but it won't matter because you will be moved on. All right, so those are your messages from the Love Romance Oracle about this Venus retrograde energy between mid-May through mid-July. I hope this has helped, and I am sending each and every one of you lots of love and light. Take care. Hello there. So let's get into your reading. Those of you attracted to the Relationship Connections Oracle, you also have the tetrahedron coming through, which lets me know there is a lot of energy in the soul around the spirit that's going to be discussed in this reading. A lot of soul evolution has taken place and will complete over these next 2 months as, Venus is retrograde, Mercury is retrograde, and Mars moves through Pisces, and that's all about the soul, okay? And here I am using these crystals to represent you and the other person who is coming through in this reading, all right? Lots going on at the soul for both of you. I'm going to pull messages for singles, couples, separated, and then those in complicated situations. So we're going to start by looking at the divine feminine energy, which is talking about Venus, and what she's doing is also talking about the sacral chakra, as well as a special message for all the feminines and how this energy is affecting her. Okay, so we have, of beings, the essential original nature is boundless, just so the wisdom of truth. The knower is boundless. Ooh, so divine feminine really coming into a lot of insight, which makes sense because Venus is retrograding through Gemini. So you're going to come into, whether you're male or female, because this also involves the sacral, you're going to come into a lot of understanding and insight about people and relationships and what it's all been for and how it's grown you and how it's evolved you. So that's quite powerful. And over here, for the divine masculine energy, which will be what Mars is doing, or the solar plexus chakra energy, or a special message for the masculines. Why do what you will regret and bring sorrow upon yourself? Do only what you do not regret and fill yourself with grace. Wow. So divine masculine energy. So for the masculines, this is really strong, coming through at the soul of mistakes and regrets and coming into the wisdom of all of that and really shifting and changing. And because this is also the solar plexus, this goes for both men and women, where where you're coming into all this insight about where you've been and what it's all for, and now you are realizing the choices you made that helped perpetuate sorrow and sadness in certain connections, hanging on too long, putting up with behavior that you didn't deserve. Or for some of you, this is general, there's a lot of things that you regret doing and saying to certain romantic partners along this journey. Okay, let's pull you a spirit guide and see what spirit guide is coming through to help you with these energies from mid-May through mid-July with all this retrograde going on, because that's always bringing things back from the past for sure. Okay, so you guys have an ancestor, the ancestor of guidance. This could be, a grandparent that you did know in this life, or it could be an ancestor that was born through your bloodline that you never met. But for all of you, this is somebody who is quite wise, okay? This is somebody who has lived many lifetimes and has pretty much been through it all. And this spirit guide is coming in to offer you the guidance that you need in regards to your romantic situations. I'm telling you, this one here, major awakening and transformation at the soul, which is the strongest change that anybody can experience and feel. So let's pull some cards to see the story that's coming through for you guys. Silence, not speaking, but still watching. Looming, snooping and spying. Case of the ex, not over the past. And coldness, drifting apart. Okay. Couples, I hate to say it, if you picked this reading, you are not on the right reading. You're not. So I would suggest a different reading if you pick this one. If you are in a solid committed relationship, the only thing I could see about this, if you're in a solid committed relationship, is one of your exes is trying to come back in during this retrograde season, is really not over you or over your partner. And so some of you could be experiencing that, but with this ancestor coming through as your spirit guide, I don't feel there's shake up to your relationship. It's just if, there's an ex looming around, or if you are in a relationship and you have an ex looming around, this may be the reading for you. But otherwise, I don't think so. This is really for those of you who are separated from somebody, and this is the only reading that this message has come through so clear and strong like that. The others, I was able to pull message for all situations, but this is for those of you, whether you are single in a complicated situation with somebody or you are in a committed relationship with somebody. This is about an ex. An ex is coming back and is very highlighted through mid-May to mid-July. So let's pull some tarot and get into this, because silence and looming, they're still watching you, or you are still watching them, or both of you are doing that, because why? We're not over it. However, with drifting apart, coldness, we're not speaking, or there has been a long period of time since you've had interaction with this particular ex. Okay, so let's pull the tarot and see what the tarot has to say about all of this. I will say this. Whoever screwed this up is filled with great regrets, okay? Great regrets. And the one who got screwed over has come into a lot of understanding and enlightenment and has grown stronger for what happened here, okay? Judgment. Woo, yeah, this is soul contracts going on here, okay? Woo. Okay, next the Hierophant. Oh my goodness. I'm just going to pull all the cards because, wow, this right here, this X, you guys have a soul contract that is not completed, and there's a deep, deep soul bond that exists between the two of you. Nine of Pentacles, but we've had to learn and grow on our own without each other for a while. In the recent past, we've got the Nine of Cups. Some of you maybe have recently just come into reunion with this ex, you know, prior to watching this video, or you know, this is like your wish of the past. Like in the past, I really wish we could work this out, or this ex really wishing to be back in your life, because this is all about wish fulfillment here. And in the recent past, it's either the reunion that happened, or this is your wish in your heart and your soul. At the mind, we have the Eight of Cups. So it's really heavily on your mind about how this relationship ended. And those of you who are in union with somebody, but there's this ex that's just kind of showing back up on the scene for you, you're really questioning your current connection and this ex, like, where do I truly belong? Do I walk away from my relationship and try to get back with this ex, or try to, you know, work it out with this ex? And wow, interesting that. But for the rest of you, what's in your head is like the way they walked away from you, or the way that you walked away from them. And in the near future, Page of Swords, this is communication, this is conversation, truths coming to light. What are you? You are the Seven of Cups. You are really thinking about this person, my goodness. And what are they up to? They're coming through as the Queen of Wands. So, the Queen of Wands. So this could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, that you're dealing with, or them coming through as the Queen of Wands is letting you know there is still a lot of attraction and passion and chemistry within them towards you, okay? And you fantasize about them as well. Man, the connection, even though this to me feels like we've been apart for a while, the connection has never died. My goodness. Hopes and fears is the Eight of Swords. Our hope is that, you know, we're not always restricted from each other. Our fear is that we always will be. Okay, and the outcome is the Chariot. There is victory, success, movement coming into play for this separated connection. Yeah, and look at what's right next to that is the Page of Cups. So this is an offer of love coming in. So, yeah, it doesn't matter your current status, whether you are with somebody, you are single, or you're dealing with a complicated connection. There is somebody from your past that's coming back in and is pretty much probably already up on your mind. And, you know, with the Nine of Cups here sitting in the recent past, that to me is you truly desiring to reconnect with this person, them truly desiring to reconnect with you, because here, like, the connection has never died. There is still a lot of attraction physically towards each other. And, you know, I do see we're going to talk, we're going to have a conversation. Somebody's still watching from afar, if both of you aren't still watching from afar, but there's a lot of fear here that too much time has passed. Have they moved on? Do they still think about me? You know, and that goes both ways. And like, I don't want this restriction any longer. I'm afraid, you know, that we'll never speak again, or that this could never work out. But you've got the spirit guide coming through, and this is like guidance. So this spirit guide is assisting you as well as assisting this other person, because one of you has had a profound awakening at the soul, and the other one of you has had a big shift in consciousness, and you guys are seeing each other differently, seeing the relationship you shared differently, it's like there's no bad cards here. There's really not. And at the center, the Hierophant and Judgment, you guys do have a soul contract. This is meant to be. And there's spiritual forces that are going to ensure that you guys come back together in union. You've never really left each other as far as I can see. So let me, you know, I think I'm just going to clarify everything here except for the Eight of Swords, because we know that you fear always being restricted from each other, but everything else I'm going to pull a clarifier on. All right, at the center, look at that, separation. Beneath that, why? Because somebody really had a lot to learn and grow up. Yeah, we really wish stability, security, permanence, growth, that this relationship could come back together and be strong. We want to meet. We want to meet. Love. We're talking about love. We're trying to hide our true feelings. You are. This person coming back in has really changed and is letting you know that, and letting you know, like, I'm the one for you, you're the one for me. We reflect each other. We're soulmates. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Right here at the center of the reading, separation, sadness, missing you, thinking about you, yearning, unsure of the future. This reading here, number 4, is all about a reconciliation with somebody from your past, okay? And this could be somebody that you were in a serious relationship with, somebody that was just a fling, a missed opportunity, just a friend, a coworker. You know, it could entail so many different connections, but it's coming back into the now. You've thought about them. They've thought about you. Somebody really watching from afar, looking in on social media, all those things. Oh, keeping tabs, never fully left the situation. And in the past, it's like, my desire is to be back in this. Up here in the mental body with the 8 of Cups and the coffee cup, this is meeting and conversing, savoring the moment, feeling uplifted. So it's like what once dissolved is now coming back together. And here it is, with this, Page of Swords and love, unconditional love, self-love, oneness, passion, attraction, affection. So this is what we're talking about. Okay, when you and this person come back together, whether they're reaching out to you, you're reaching out to them, it's going to be different for all of you, or maybe running into each other. This is a general reading. There's just a spirit guide that's going to be prompting to make sure it happens. And here we are talking about our feelings for each other, talking about our connection, a lot of romantic, passionate energy being exchanged through conversation, and truths about the past. And then here you are trying to hide your true feelings about this person when they re-enter your life, not wanting to show your hand, not wanting to give it all away, you kind of really holding back. And I think kind of testing the waters and seeing what they say and what they do before you fully expose your heart and your soul to them. And then here they are. Look at what it says: making healthy choices in love and in life, self-love, self-care, being happier. This person that's returning to you, they have really changed, okay? They're very solid and stable, and it's all stemmed from the soul. I keep wanting to call this queen the Page of Pentacles, and even though she's the Queen of Wands. So some of you, fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sag. Others of you, this could be very strong earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But they are ready to join at the soul and give that type of commitment. And, the issues that they had to face, they've worked through that. They've really grown. They've changed. They've evolved. They're a new person. And they think about you and they want to be with you. And there's probably a bit of regret in their heart for however things ended in the past, okay? And then up here, you've got the Chariot with the Page of Cups in the mirror. You equally want to be with each other, okay? This doesn't just go one way. They want you as much as you want them. And some of you, I do see you in a relationship with this ex returning. And, since this is a general reading, you've really got to decide what you feel is best for you in that situation, okay? If you're not really super invested in your current relationship, then by all means jump into this once it shows back up. But there is some fear that too much time has passed, and that may be what has caused one of you to reach out, has created that hesitation. But it's like, let me take you out, let's meet, let's talk. And you do. Oh, it's beautiful. This is a beautiful reunion coming through. Neither one of you, I feel, has really ever left each other. All right. I was pulling this for singles, couples, separation and complicated situations, but this reading is so straightforward about an ex coming back through this energy that we're just going to look at that. Healing, apologies, and forgiveness. Wow, this is so spot on. Eternal flame, love that never fades, no matter time and distance. There you go. This is just like confirming everything we've already received. Trustworthy, dependable, honesty. So, this person, if they weren't the most open and honest in the past, they have changed. You can trust them. They can trust you. Satisfied, passionate lovers. There's that chemistry and connection coming through. And new emotion, falling in love. Wow. There are negative cards in this deck, but if I just keep going, like look at what the very next two would be. Sweethearts, the honeymoon phase, genuine gem, rare find. So if I just like keep going, it's this really beautiful energy. Yeah, those of you that were attracted to this reading, whether you were curious about an ex or not, there is somebody returning from your past, and they are very real and very serious about giving you a commitment, a relationship, being with you. They've had time to think it through. They've had a soul awakening, and they've evolved, they've changed, they've grown, but so have you. Okay, and the reason for this separation is, you know, there could have been some codependency energy, some addictions. One of you could have had a lot of financial issues. Okay, it's just the reason why the first time around this couldn't work is because you both had a lot of evolution to do, and there could have been an element of needing to fulfill some karmic contracts for both of you, with that Judgment and Hierophant coming out at the base and center of this reading. It's like now those have been satisfied, and it's time for you guys to come back together, because this is a, you know, situation that can work. Because what came out with this the first time is empath, narcissist paradigm, being charmed or used, enable, and boundaries. So the first time around, this was not the healthiest connection, or one of you or both of you was just not ready emotionally. You had a lot to work through, and now is the time. You guys are ready. So mid-May through mid-July is when all of this starts coming back into your reality, and it's not like you guys ever really left, and you got the apologies and healing. I'm forever yours. You're the best thing. I've never met anything like you. Your intimate relations are fireworks and amazing, and you are falling in love. Okay, and this is with somebody you already know, and a lot of time has passed here. Okay, so those are your messages. I'm sending you guys lots of love and light. Take care.